Well, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to put your seatbelts on for this one because we got a lot coming out right now. You don't have to like or subscribe. Roll it. Check this.
When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Right?
Dang.
The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration,
Dang.
right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu.
Yeah, so basically the assessment here is that he was starting to speak out against Israel. Of course, there's no denying he was very close to Israel, or I should say on the side of Israel, right? And basically what we're gathering is that he started to speak out against him, and this is why we got so many conspiracies right now. But let's continue.
Where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked.
Yep.
Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it.
Was.
Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question.
Dang.
The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me that they're going to concerts and kibbutzes and...
What's kibbutzes? I want to also like show you guys like a bunch of other clips, and FBI also is responding now, so they got like new investigation clips. So yeah, I want to get into that. But what's kibbutzes?
Schools, and by report tell me that they're going to concerts and kibbutzes and schools, and by report...
Yeah, let me search that.
And that is a very valid question. Was it allowed to happen?
Well, of course, now, of course it was allowed to happen on purpose. We know what happens when things get tough for Netanyahu.
No, that's not it.
He'll kill anybody.
Oh,
He'll kill Jews on October 7th. And he'll have his what's the guy, Gallant? Who's the guy who ordered Hannibal Directive? They asked him on
Gallant.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then him and Bibi get in a fight because Bibi's too crazy even for him, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they comes out, yeah, it was given a little bit. The whole country's the IDF. So that means the Hannibal Directive, they killed their own people. So if they do that to Israeli Jews, if that's what the IDF would do under orders, what?
I cannot find anything. I was just like searching for it. Appreciate you subscribing, Lamar. You don't have to, but welcome on in. Yeah, no, I was searching for it. I couldn't find it.
Do you think they do to Charlie Kirk at a crucial moment when they just blew up Qatar? One of the biggest crimes I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And
listen,
yo, motherfuckers, they wanna fight with everybody, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, they dropped like bombs on Qatar as well recently, right? Like these suckers wanna like fight with everybody, bro. That's crazy, man. And of course, like they got America by the balls as well. America, yeah, man, they dropped the bunker busters on Iran, like double penetration. Pause. Yeah, that happened too, which was absolutely insanity. But thankfully, that thing, it has calmed down for now, I guess, right? But this is what Candace someone's gotta say, and yeah, I want to play that clip. But you know what's crazy is that you guys brought this to my attention. Some of you sent me this over on X or Twitter, and I saw your guys' comments. They have blocked the release of Epstein files almost the same time as Charlie Kirk was assassinated, bro. Oh shit! Oh shit! I don't know if there's a link to it or not. Perhaps this was used when everybody was talking about Charlie Kirk. Always is a possibility, but yeah, no, this is crazy. So they're now fighting to release the files again, but they blocked it. They're fighting to release the files, so back and forth, right? Back and forth we go. So that is also a little bit suspect, right? But check this.
In May, Charlie was concerned about Israel and their influence on American politics and how they were pushing things that he felt were in conflict with his beliefs, free speech. I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives and knew exactly which donors were pressuring him and why.
Dang. Yeah, no, that's what we're hearing, that he was looking to change his perspective, and he also told somebody, that's what we're hearing, he told a family member that he's afraid that Israel might take him out. So this is why we got like so many different conspiracies flying around, right? Okay, I want to play you this clip and then we're going to get down to the FBI's response. Roll it.
As days turn into weeks after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the fog of evidence pointing to Israel's fingerprints on this broad daylight strike keeps getting denser, louder, and more disturbing. What we're looking at is not just a tragic killing, but a carefully orchestrated takedown of one of the few rising conservative voices who was beginning to call out Zionism with...
That's our drone, right? That is our drone. Okay, so it was here.
Without fear.
And look at this woman. That's the one that gets this shot done, okay? I'm going to make myself even smaller so that you can see more. I'm going to play it.
Yeah, no, we've seen this clip before.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
He puts it down.
Too many.
Look at it. Then he brings it up again. He talks to someone. He gets a signal. He's going to pull out the phone again. And I'm sorry, you're going to have to see this. So,
Do you know how
it's going to be horrible. There you go. That's your sign. Go again.
Over the last 10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
I don't think, yeah, I talked about it before, right? This is very, very hard to say whether this guy has involvement or not. I guess if there are doubts again, you can investigate it for sure, but yeah, what is your take on that? This guy in a black shirt, a little bit suspect to me, but the other guy, not so much. I want to know your thoughts. But again, though, if there are doubts, they can investigate and find out.
Tried at first and missed. Watch these hands.
Violence.
Watch him again.
10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
Like he jumps. When he finally gets him, he jumps.
I was standing from probably the...
Gang violence.
Like he jumps. When he finally gets him, he jumps.
I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw hit, I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck, down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off.
Oh damn, what? Oh shit, they're beefing. What the hell?
Emotions are running high right now.
They're preventing an eyewitness from saying what he saw.
In fact, the number of video clips showing Charlie at various points questioning Israel's role in global manipulation is overwhelming. Too many to even show you in this single piece. He was stepping into dangerous territory, demanding accountability from Mossad, linking Epstein's shadowy network to Israel, and pointing fingers at the deep state. That is not...
Oh yeah, by the way, like, this is something I haven't investigated fully. Maybe some of you guys heard about this, and maybe you have more. You can always put it in the comments. Cannot guarantee if it's gonna be, your comment's gonna be blacklisted or hidden, because, yeah, more often than not, sometimes when you comment, I don't even get to see, because yeah, they get blacklisted automatically by the AI that controls YouTube's comment section, right? But yeah, no, this is something that I'm hearing recently, that Epstein was linked, or he was literally Mossad. So yeah, man, the rabbit hole goes deep, bro. And you know, we talked about it prior as well. It's not just like the left or the right wing, and it's not even just the United States, it's Canada. I'm in Canada, right? So it's basically all of the big politicians from all over the world on the list. Okay, yeah, if the list comes out, there will be so many politicians that will have to face repercussions, or maybe even not. Let's be real, you know, it's like the elites always get scot-free. So, but yeah, right, it's not just the United States of America or the American politicians, it's mostly all the bigger politicians on the list. This is why they are trying really hard to not release the files, and God knows who's on the list, who's not on the list, right? Who went to the island and commit those heinous crimes. And you also gotta question this, right? A lot of these politicians that are probably on the list, they are still governing all of us, you know? So yeah, just ask yourself this, man, and nothing is being done about it. Nothing is being done about it.
Something Tel Aviv forgives.
I think
pointing fingers at the deep state. That is not something Tel Aviv forgives.
I think the majority mover of Gen Z and Gen Z conservatives is exhaustion.
Precisely.
Would you guys think that's a fair categorization?
Yes, for sure.
I mean, again, there is like an isolated, like, weirdo, I hate Jews. We don't like that. No one in decent society wants that. But instead, it's kind of like, can we just, I don't know, make it so I can buy a home?
Yeah.
Or like deport people?
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Oh yeah. Exactly.
You're not anti-Israel. You don't wish them harm. You're not, like cheering on Iran.
No, I support Israel. I think they're our ally. I want them.
But you would be called an anti-Semite by some people for saying this.
And I think that's ridiculous. I don't hate Jews because I think a nation should defend themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever.
I feel like it's becoming like the word racism. Like, we just disagree with them, so we just have to call them a name. I don't think that they're actually anti-Semitic. I think people just can't agree with them and they can't prove them wrong, so they just throw a word out and be like, you're anti-Semitic because you think that we should stop sending our money there.
Something that I see amongst the people I'm around, I do see more like general disdain towards, just being honest, Jewish people.
That's correct.
Just because they're constantly being told that you hate Jews. And it's like, fine. If you're going to say I hate Jews over and over and over again, like, if I'm going to be convicted of the crime, I might as well do the crime. I fear the same thing happens with all the talk of race. The more we talk about it, the more we bring it up, the more racism actually happens.
This is like, I try to tell, thank you for saying this. Like, because like, I try to tell these people and they're like, we must get more aggressive. And so like, let me ask a question. If we were to remove, like if people said what Tucker said is anti-Semitic, I don't hold that view. But it's like a lot of people on Twitter are like calling us out and like, whatever. That's not going to happen.
And as if we are all fools, they wasted no time pivoting. Ben Shapiro is suddenly back on the road, restarting his campus tour, presenting himself as the ready-made replacement for Charlie, as if the machine had a backup plan in waiting. At the same time, Rabbi Shmuley didn't even allow the dust of blood to dry before rushing out appeals for more funds, almost as though Charlie's assassination was just another campaign opportunity.
I saw a lot of rumors online today. I was made aware of this by my team. That I canceled some sort of college. That's bullshit. I saw those rumors. They are false. I will be coming to college campuses, many of them this year. So will we all, I am sure. Because we're Americans, and we're not going to be deterred. Charlie's voice is not silent.
We're Americans, he said. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Benny boy.
We're going to pick up that blood-stained microphone where Charlie left it. And to those who would intimidate, who would seek to stop us, who would seek to end free discussion.
So he wanna take like Charlie's place right now, dang.
Before I go deeper, take a moment right now to work and you'll see it for yourself.
Can you believe what you have been seeing on CNN today, ladies and gentlemen?
Milton William
Supposedly, a CNN reporter found Osama bin Laden, took a television camera crew with him, went into Osama bin Laden's hideout, interviewed him and his top leadership, his top lieutenants and colonels and generals. And he came out and told everybody, within 3 weeks, Osama bin Laden is going to attack the United States and Israel. Now, don't you think that's kind of strange, folks? You see, because the largest...
we previously covered the topic of 9/11, and that video got hit by YouTube. And the topic of that video, because there was evidence that came forward of Israel's involvement with the 9/11, the towers, So I made the video. I'll link you in the pinned comment, okay, or perhaps at the end in the end screen. I'll link you that. Yeah, that video got hit by YouTube, but now there was so much that came forward, and Israel handprints are all over that, man. It seems like that whenever there's something big that happens, there's always a conspiracy. Sometimes more than just a conspiracy involving them. It's insane, man. It is insane, and I guess Charlie Kirk started questioning. And now he's no longer with us. Whether who they captured, the FBI is claiming it was Tyler Robinson. People are buying it. Some people are not buying it. And the investigation, they're saying that it's an ongoing investigation. So we gotta wait for that. Perhaps it was really Tyler Robinson that actually, assassinated, and perhaps Israel had no involvement. That is always a possibility. Or perhaps they were behind this as well. I guess you gotta get to the bottom of this one, fellas.
Intelligence apparatus in the world with the biggest budget in the history of the world has been looking for Osama bin Laden for years and years and years and can't find him. some doofus jerk-off reporter with a camera crew waltzes right into his hideout and interviews him. And if you believe it, you are one of the stupidest jerks that ever lived on the face of this earth. And whatever is going to happen that they're going to blame on Osama bin Laden, don't you even believe it.
Oh shit, that was said on June 28th, 2001? Oh shit! So a couple of months prior, and whatever is going to happen that they're going to blame Osama, don't you even believe it? I mean, they did train Osama, right? Like, it was he was their person. And yeah, like, 911, that was an inside job. Yeah, based off of the data, the analysts that came forward, you know, the firefighters, and basically all of what we heard, seemingly it's the probability, yeah, officially hasn't been confirmed, of course, but the probability of it being an inside job, very high, right? One, if you believe it was an inside job. Two, if you don't believe it's an inside job. And hey man, that's perfectly fine if you disagree though. You know,
social engineering project to change the minds and the attitudes and the beliefs of the people.
Now the latest update will blow your mind. In my earlier videos, I replayed clips and clues about what Charlie was facing and how his tone was shifting against Zionism. But today, I'm presenting two concrete pieces of evidence that strip away any remaining illusions. The first is a video that YouTube and TikTok are actively suppressing under the pretext of fighting false news. But make no mistake, this clip is real, it's authentic, and it came from eyewitnesses present at Charlie's assassination. What it shows is nothing short of shocking. A micro-surveillance drone flying in the sky just minutes before Charlie was taken out. And according to event organizers, no drones were scheduled, no drone coverage was approved. The presence of this device can only mean one thing: a clandestine surveillance operation, most likely linked to the larger assassination.
Get J.K. Rowling holy. Okay, so they're asking for J.K. Rowling. Yeah, man, that's lunacy, man. That is pure lunacy, bruh.
Plot. Insert. And here's the kicker: the drone's trajectory lined up with the very same angle from where the sniper's bullet was fired. That is not coincidence. That is coordination. The drone hovered close enough to give planners a clear live feed, granting them precision timing and visibility for both the kill shot and the...
What?
Granting them...
Charlie Kirk Square? Israeli mayor to name traffic circle in honor of Israel's great friend, PM Netanyahu, and the Israel Foreign Ministry officially illegalized, okay, that's the first time, illegalized, hopefully I'm not butchering the pronunciation, Kirk as a steadfast friend who stood proudly for the Judeo-Christian values as Israel ministers moved without proof to label.
Precision timing and visibility for both the kill shot and the escape. Combine that with the clean professional nature of the execution, and you can dismiss any fantasy about a random college kid with a rusty rifle. This was polished, rehearsed, and surgical hallmarks of a state-backed hit squad. The sophistication screams Mossad.
What happened on the aircraft?
Okay, first off, what we have to understand, there's only one plane that actually crashed.
No,
okay,
there were three.
No, the building's imploded.
Okay,
if a plane's going to hit a building, why would the building fall down?
Time out. Flight 93, did it exist?
Flight 93 existed, yes.
Okay, so who tried to hijack that plane?
They sacrificed those people to make it look like Bush was targeted because they wanted to cover up Bush's involvement.
So
he just happened to be in Texas reading a book to elementary kids, and they were reading a sign on a whiteboard
let me say
that talked about towers falling, Charlie.
Anti-Semitism.
We have been lied to since the beginning of this country. Jews, Freemasons, all of it's a satanic agenda. Israel is the synagogue of Satan. They're killing innocent people in Palestine over the guise of sovereignty. New World Order is coming, Charlie.
Guys, let me tell you, anti-Semitism is literally a brain cancer, as you could see.
How is this anti-Semitic, Charlie? How is it anti-Semitic?
How is it anti-Semitic?
How am I hating on Jews when I'm saying that they...
you keep interrupting me. Israel did 9/11 is a rather anti-Semitic thing to say. Explain to me Flight 93 and the families aboard that lost their loved ones. Who actually was the hijacker? Was it a Mossad agent?
No.
Okay, who was it?
The government put them there.
No, who was it?
They crashed a plane intentionally to make it look like George W. Bush was targeted.
Who was the hijacker? No, this is important. They can never answer this question. Who was the hijacker?
They didn't have real hijackers, Charlie. They were plants.
Okay. So when
they were plants, CIA, Mossad created
So when
Hamas.
they got the black box, of course, it was all just like a conspiracy.
Just like they found the passport miraculously 2 miles down from the crash site in
I'm sorry,
New York.
what?
They just happened to find one of the hijackers' passports laying on the ground 2 miles away from the crash site in New York. It just happened to be there. They just walked up and found it.
I
just randomly happen to find a perfectly
familiar
good
with
passport.
that piece
Look
of
it
data.
up. Look up the passport.
Look, here there's so much wrong with your worldview, but the biggest...
Meanwhile, back in Washington, on the very same day Charlie was assassinated, Senate Republicans sneaked through a bill criminalizing the boycott of Israel. Do you really think that's coincidence? It's textbook distraction while the nation was glued to the shocking murder of a...
Yeah, they blocked the files. I mean... Yeah, there's just way too much, man. Holy shit, dude. Like, and you know the saying, right? When there is smoke, when there is smoke, there is fire. If 10 of these conspiracy theories that are coming out, at least one of them gotta be real, right? And that's the thing, though. We do not know which is real. And yeah, like, perhaps it is true that Israel had no involvement whatsoever in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That is all. Yeah, that is absolutely a possibility. Can it be that they were behind it? Yeah, man. Like their handprints, footprints have been all over a lot of major conspiracies around the world, and every time some big happens, sometimes, you know, their handprints are all over it. But this time around, yeah, people are questioning it, and it's suspect. And I guess the only thing that gives it more credibility. Or no, credibility is the wrong word. There's another word for it, but okay, I'll cut it short. The reason it gives it more credibility is because of what Charlie Kirk said. You know, he started to change his perspective slightly. You know, he started to question Israel, what they are doing and what they were doing. So yeah, that's that. And other than that, there isn't like much to it. It's just that they have been behind so many different like issues in the world and so many different conspiracies that you paired that alongside what Charlie Kirk has been or started to do, which was question Israel. So yeah, right, this is where we're at with it now. But let's continue.
A public figure, textbook distraction while the nation was glued to the shocking murder of a public figure. Congress quietly locked in another weapon for Zionists, the legal silencing of dissent against a genocidal state slaughtering millions in Gaza. To add insult to injury, the FBI's behavior is raising its own questions. Viral comparisons show inconsistencies between the wanted image circulated during the manhunt and the supposed mugshot after arrest. Classic Mossad sleight of...
Yeah, no, I've seen this one as well. The big one here, of course, like the ear here, and especially the lips. Yeah, the lips is the major one, right? And here, the nose, it got like, the nose is kind of like up. Okay, I should not be doing that. What am I doing? Okay, pause. But yeah, no, here you see the nose slightly different, but the biggest thing here is obviously the lips. Now, can it be? I don't know, man. This is a big one, man. I don't know about that one. Yeah, this is definitely gonna create more and more division, though, and that's exactly what they want, right? Politicians. This is why I always say, man, you gotta be the president of your own mind. It's perfectly fine to pick your president, perfectly fine to pick your side. You know, I'm always gonna be for that, right? Yeah, if you're left wing, you're right wing, okay, you got your reasons, okay? Not here to debate that, okay? You gotta vote for somebody who you think is right for you, for your family, and for the country, okay? You got that, right? Now, after that, bro, like, you gotta be the president of your own mind, dog. You gotta be the president of your own mind. Politicians, whether it's right wing, left wing, any president, any politician for that matter, they should only have one job. Serving their country and, I guess, 2 jobs, right? Yeah, but they should have 2 jobs. Serving their country and bring people together rather than dividing them. Because that's exactly what every politician does. Division. My side, the best side. You know, my side, the best side. Division. Why? Because it's easier to manipulate people and it's easier to get votes again and again. You know, that's what it is, man. People, we gotta start. People are already waking up. So, but yeah, you know, and if more and more start to happen, more and more is happening for sure. But more and more people gonna wake up, right? That's how it is. But division is how they get to control us all, bro.
of hand swapping images, muddying trails, and keeping the public guessing while the real operatives slip back into the shadows. But if you still doubt Mossad's role, I've got one more thing. Watch the footage of Charlie hammering Israel and exposing the
I want to see like what Elon said there, but
of so-called Judeo-Christian values. That's enough to sign his death warrant in Zionist eyes.
Yeah, that's right. And we must understand that if we were to do forceful regime change, sounds good. Lindsey Graham is cheering for that. What would happen to the refugees? Where would they go? Millions of people going to the West. The country could fall into civil war. And understand, they're warriors there. These are the Persians. They were a great power for 1,000 years. Not even the Romans could defeat Persia. Now, I'm not saying they're comparable to our Marines or to our Air Force, but is that really the battle that we want in front of us? And President Trump understands this astutely. He is
Even respected journalists like Max Blumenthal of the Grey Zone have warned of the same thing. Mossad's assassination tactics are so advanced, so refined, that even the White House lives in fear of crossing them.
Man.
A department specifically designed for international political killings operating with impunity exists within Israel's security apparatus. That terrifies even Washington insiders. Think about it. If this machinery can topple leaders abroad, silencing a conservative commentator in the US would be child's play. It's no wonder indicted felon Donald Trump himself is rumored to be spooked by the reach of this operation.
Holy.
Does the President of the United States fear for his life?
Yes. Yes, I mean, obviously he fears for his life, and I was told that he feared for his life before the 2 assassination attempts, one coming within a millimeter of striking his head. I mean,
you know, that one was insane, right before his presidency, and the analysts were looking at it, right, and basically the conclusion was that because it happened at the right time at the right moment, so the bullet was supposed to hit the head, and he turned his head, and the bullet went through his ear. And the analysts were like calculating it, right? Had it been Trump never moved his head, he would have been dead. He would have been gone. You know, that's crazy, okay? Like, yeah, within split second, it was right? Call it a miracle, call it a coincidence, call it whatever you want. You know, whether you're for him or against him, you know, whatever the case might be. Just talking on the topic here at hand is that if he never moved his head, shit, he would have been gone. But by miracle, he moved his head and the bullet went through his ear. So yeah, no, that was crazy as well. And we don't know who was behind him. I guess I heard they got the killer, but I don't know, man. Of course there gotta be some conspiracies relating to that as well.
Let's not forget about that.
But I mean, just to clarify, he doesn't fear for his life because of Ireland.
Bruh. I mean, I've been told, yes, that Israel is a major source of concern for Trump. I mean, think about it. What would happen if the president if he suspended arms to a country that carries out assassinations all across the globe, that specializes in assassinations, that has an entire wing of its intelligence services that conducts assassinations, including with household goods like pagers? Would you not be scared? So yes, Trump is scared. And what I learned from this source, who is a Trump insider, someone who talks to who talks to people in the Oval Office, people close to Trump, is that during one of Netanyahu's many visits to the U.S. this year, some figures in his retinue, Israeli agents, placed electronic devices on emergency response Secret Service vehicles. The Secret Service found them and they reported this to the White House. You know, these would be emergency response vehicles that would respond to an incident potentially involving the president.
Yeah, let's continue this.
Analytic team to use the cell phone tower data dump system to geolocate specifically where this cell phone was and who had it, and after that, who he was talking to. And Sean, let me tell you a little bit about the information we've collected. We've collected information where, through witness interviews from the FBI and local law enforcement, that he essentially admitted after the shooting and assassination of Charlie Kirk, the suspect admitted to it. Furthermore, the evidence and information will come out. I won't stylize the evidence. The Attorney General is absolutely right. We can't do that. But I will say what was found in terms of information, a text message exchange, where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that, And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
Yeah, you're also running an investigation on what's called the Discord chat room, which has scores of people on it, and texts between the suspect and the partner. I assume that those discussions are ongoing?
Absolutely. In order to properly adjudicate this matter and let law enforcement hand off information into evidence for a court of law for prosecution, we have to go out and get search warrants. We have to go out and get search warrants of the identifiers that were then built off.
You're the FBI. Since when y'all suckers needed search warrants? Since when? You know, when you need it, you just go in without search warrants, without anything, you know, pause, but you just go in. And this time they need search warrants. Yeah, that's a comedy right there.
For the prior search warrants, and we are doing that, and we are going to be interviewing scores of people on not just these chats on Discord, but any communications that this individual have. We've seized multiple electronic devices from the home of the suspect and his romantic partner. We've got computers, we've got laptops, we've got gaming systems, we've got cell phones. All of that is being triaged by the FBI because that's what we do. And the resources that the Attorney General has dedicated to this mission is allowing us to move at the speed we have. As you said, 33 hours. 33 hours, Sean, this individual is apprehended. And on the night...
Let me ask you. Because 33 hours, and I did mention Luigi Mangione, and I did mention the Sarnoff brothers in the Boston bombing, and I did talk about the Centennial Park bomber Eric Rudolph and Ted Kaczynski. 33 hours, 2 hours after the video footage was enhanced and released, the suspect's father turned him in. And you got criticized for doing that, and I'm criticized for going out to the crime scene, and I'm having a hard time understanding what people's expectations are.
Sean, my expectation is deliver to the mission and the resources the men and women the FBI need and to produce. And that's what we did here. When you're talking about things like going out to a crime scene, that's how you investigate that matter properly. And when you're talking about why did it take 33 hours, well, I made the operational decision to immediately release enhanced videos and photographs of the suspect because the operational call that I made for the FBI said we are about to smoke this guy out, and his family and friends and his internal network is going to assist it. And this is the operation I want to highlight in terms of...
Now, if what he's saying is actually true, you know what? Kudos to FBI, right? Good on them for releasing what they released, and then they got the murderer, the killer, the shooter arrested, right? Good on them if that is true. But yeah, a lot of things are not adding up right now, especially the picture that the internet shared. But again, man, conspiracies are always gonna be around. It's just, yeah, what is true, what is not true anymore. Yeah, the Epstein files, they got blocked as well from getting released. You know, that's a big one too. Yeah, no, at this point, I don't even know. Yeah, there was a lot of people that were asking for the files to get released. But, you know, when enough time passes, everybody moves on. And that's exactly what happened. And around the same time, you know, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, when everyone's talking about him, they just blocked the files. Yeah, so it's insane. And this was the video that I was talking about. It did get hit by YouTube. So, yeah, check it out, man. Check it out. It's a crazy eye-opener. And I'll see you right there.